Welcome back to Margaritas in Paradise. All right, I have a bunch of interesting stuff going on, and I talk to Brett almost every day. He's in Pattaya right now. He's been here since my birthday. He was just beat, too tired to even make it for my birthday. That was kind of disappointing, but I understood after the long flight. He was expecting his girlfriend to meet him at the airport. She was a no-show. It's like, what the heck, man? It started right off the bat. Red flag, any girlfriend from Thailand that want to ensure that he doesn't run astray basically will meet you at the airport. There's no doubt about it. It's kind of like taking you to the airport when you leave, but it's not to say that everybody is going to meet you at the airport, but he was planning on that. Okay? When he arrives and figures out that she's not there, she's under the impression that he wants to go to Pattaya. As it turns out, she's on a bus coming from Isan to Pattaya. For whatever reason, she wasn't able to make it to the airport to meet him, and of course it's starting off on a bad plan already. I'll tell you what, and it's not getting any better with this trip. I have more to tell you. I really feel bad for Brett. Brett arrived, I think, about noon time frame on the 27th, and he was basically all the way down to Pattaya by about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He had been on the phone quite a bit with his girlfriend. It turns out that she's not due to be making it to Pattaya until 6 p.m. 6 p.m. comes along and she's not there. And he tries to get a hold of her and she's not answering her phone now. Okay. and he's like, wait, what's going on? Okay. So 7 o'clock goes by, 8 o'clock goes by, 9 o'clock goes by. He's calling me up at this point saying, what do you think? And I said, you're not number one on the totem pole here, Brett. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, she's in Pattaya. She just doesn't think you're important enough to come to see first. If her bus showed up at 6 o'clock, the buses are normally right on time. Okay. There's something going on. Well, as we're talking, she's trying to get a hold of him now. Okay. And finally shows up at his hotel at 10 o'clock at night. He's just thrilled, happy to see her. She was dressed very sexy. She looked great. She had this gold chain on her neck. He says, what's up with that? And she says, oh, it's just copy. It's copy. I cannot afford real. Someday I want real, but this is just copy. And Brett, wants to believe that. His girlfriend, right away, she doesn't want to hang out in the hotel. She wants to take him out and go drinking, right? And Brett, he kind of wants to get back out and have some fun too. So anyway, they decide that they're going to go to her old bar on Soy 6. Duh! So anyway, they get down there and everybody is happy and thrilled to see Brett, okay? But they're not giving any attention to his girlfriend. I mean, she hasn't been there for over a month, and he's like, what the hell's going on here? And it's just like a normal thing. And I'm telling him, when he's telling me this story, he's like, now, I'm just saying, more than likely she's been working in the bar. But the bad thing is I have to be careful what I say there because he will get angry with me. Okay, so unfortunately, I know what's been going on. There's no doubt about it. But that's the way the system is, So they're there all the way until about 2:30 in the morning, and the bar is getting ready to close. All right, let's pay our bin and go find something to eat. And his girlfriend says, yeah, she would like to go have barbecue. One of those. They have a grill on the table, and they have like hot pot and seafood and all types. It's kind of a buffet type style, and they're all over town. You can get them real cheap. Anyway, she suggested a certain place and they decided to go there. All right, so which makes perfect sense. All Thais, I love them. I love them. They're very good. Okay. Anyway, he gets his bin, and he's asking, "What's this 500 baht charge on that?" And the mama said, "Well, that's for his girlfriend's bar fine." And he's like, "What? Why would I pay a bar fine for her? She doesn't work here." Duh. Mama said, no, you have to pay. Of course, all of her drinks and everybody else's drinks except for his were all lady drinks. All right, so he didn't tell me how much this bin was, but I think they were drinking for, let's say 3 to 4 hours in there, and they were probably pretty sauced up, or pretty drunk anyway. So anyway, he asked to see the manager, and all of a sudden the manager was like, "Well, you have to pay the bar fine." He's like, "Well, the place is closed and she doesn't work here anymore." Brett said, I had to pay you money to take her out of the bar, okay, so she doesn't work the bar anymore. And the manager says, "Well, that was last month." And he's like, "What do you mean that was last month? That was forever." So all of a sudden the manager kind of played dumb and acted like he didn't understand Brett. The mama-san and his girlfriend started talking, and the mama-san came up and said, "Okay, no, he not have to pay, misunderstanding." In all honesty, okay, this is between me and you speaking, not Brett. In all honesty, more than likely, she's still working bar. She shouldn't have been having lady drinks either, She shouldn't have been making any money on Brett for her drinks. She don't work there anymore. Now, her friends that they were buying drinks for and everything else, of course, they're going to have to pay the lady drinks. But her drinks should have been the same thing as his drinks. And they're both beer drinkers. All right, so, yeah, it's just crazy. We fast forward a little bit, and they get over to the barbecue, okay? And the barbecue is, I ended up going back to the same place that they went because he was so impressed with it. It was an outdoor seating, little gazebo type things. And it's pretty close to Soy 6, actually. They're waiting for the hot pot and the grill to come to the table, and they're getting ready to go up and fill the plates full of all this fresh food. And his girlfriend asked Brett if he would mind if her brother could join them for this meal. She hadn't seen him for so long, and this, that, and the other, and he's in town. And right away, Brett's like, "What do you mean your brother? He just had surgery." Brett just paid 100,000 baht for her brother's surgery. And how can he be in town? Oh, he has to work. So he come to town. He says, "Well, it's okay. If he's still awake in that and wants to come out and eat, it's okay. He can come join us." Like 5 minutes later, her brother shows up. And he's a tall, good-looking guy, well-dressed. But he doesn't speak any English. And right away, Brett's trying to make conversation, even using Google Translate. He's trying to ask him about his operation. This guy doesn't seem to understand what he's talking about, okay? But the one thing that he did notice right away is this guy's also wearing a gold chain, exactly like his girlfriend's wearing. Of course, he can't bring that up to her, but, he's just assuming that brother and sister get the same gold chains, basically. They're both fake gold chains. How many Thai women wear fake gold chains? I don't know. It just, when I was married, my Thai wife wouldn't have been caught dead in a fake gold chain. I'm just telling you straight up. There's no chance in the world that she would have been wearing a fake gold chain around her friends, okay? Anyway, maybe it was fake. Who knows, all right? Anyway, they ended up finishing their dinner. The whole time, his girlfriend was sitting next to her brother, and instead of sitting next to Brett, and he questioned that. She said, well, she needs to be able to translate for her brother if they want to talk because her brother doesn't understand any English. She just basically said it's nothing more than brotherly love, all right? Well, I'm thinking it's more than that. And Brett's starting to see that it's probably more than that as well. Anyway, they finished dinner, and they walk out to the parking lot area where he's going to order a Bolt taxi. Her brother gets on this fairly new motorbike. Okay, it's a Kawasaki. It was black and green, and it looked fairly new. And he thought, man, this is nice. According to his girlfriend, when he came to town, he had to get a motorbike, and so he rented this one. It was the smallest one he could find. All right, so apparently he's just renting it. As it turns out, I asked him, I said, how long has he been in town? And he's like, well, I'm not sure. And I asked him, I said, how, on that motorbike, does the plate, the license plate, is it red or white? And he said, well, he'll check that out next time. As it turns out, it was a red plate. So we know it was a fairly new motorbike, and something that possibly he just bought. Who knows? We don't know that. He says that he's renting that motorbike. All right. So they jump in a Bolt taxi to the room. I'm feeling bad for Brett because he's getting sucked in further and further, but he's slowly getting agitated. Okay. He's starting to realize that there's something more to this whole scenario. And he's telling me, he's like, man, am I being scammed? Is she lying to me or what? And I'm like, yes, she is. Absolutely, 100% lying to you. And he says, yeah, but we'll have to see. He says, I'm not going to put up with this much longer. Okay. And so, by the way, check the description below for links and money-saving links and things to like Bolt Taxi and Grab Taxi, Grab Foods, Wise. Give me that big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell if you feel like that you want to be notified when future videos come out. The next day, they woke up late, and right away, Brett says, "Hey, let's go have lunch down at the beach." His girlfriend agreed and head down to the beach. And so he's sitting there, and they start ordering food, and of course she is on the phone quite a bit. So she asked Brett if it's okay if some of her sisters come down and enjoy the afternoon with her. And Brett's like, yeah, that'll be fun and everything. So a bunch of these girls from the bar end up coming down to the beach, and they all sit together and they start drinking and everything. And pretty soon everybody's getting pretty drunk, and his bin's going up. He's noticing it, you know, but he hadn't been there for a month, and he basically has money to spend. He's there to have a good time. All right. And being there with his girlfriend, and she's around her girlfriends, everybody is having a good time. And yeah, this is what Thailand's about, you know, having a good time while you're here. You're in paradise. All right. So, and Brett definitely feels like he is. He's trying to make plans of possibly going out to Koh Larn, or maybe even up to Chiang Mai. He's talking about that possibly later on in his trip. But for whatever reason, his girlfriend's not too keen about going out to Koh Larn. She says that she gets seasick on the boats. It takes too long to get out there. Says that Chiang Mai is very smoggy and very smoky at this time of the year, so that would be a bad choice to go. And so he's trying to get her to recommend places, and she says, well, maybe South Thailand would be better. And she may have a point there, all right? They're back again at the same barbecue restaurant. They invited me to come along, all right? So this is the first time I'm getting to meet his girlfriend. Now, I thought about using her real name instead of just saying girlfriend, but, you know, I have to respect a little bit of privacy for Brett, and it's too chancy that somebody's going to go track her down and everything. But anyway, so this is the first time I'm meeting her in person, and she seems to be very smart. It seems to me that she knows too much English. To me, she's about fluent in English, and as it turns out, his girlfriend asked Brett, can her brother come to this meal as well? That he hasn't eaten yet, and he has to go to work in a little while. Brett asked me, he says, what do you think? And I said, well, absolutely. Bring him on. I want to meet this guy, right? The guy shows up, and again, he's in a really shiny pair of long pants and kind of a shiny, I don't know, shiny type shirt, almost like a suit type of an outfit, and he has a tie on, and he looks like he's doing very, very well. I tried to ask him where he works at, and he says he's now we're using Google Translate and that type of stuff with him, but he does he's a customer service representative for an Asian marketing company. Okay. And I thought, well, that's pretty good. I said, so I asked him about the surgery, and he right away said, oh, it was minor surgery, and it's all taken care of. He could see that I was asking a lot of questions, and he basically said something to Brett's girlfriend and told her what was going on, and basically excused himself to leave, which was probably a good move on his part. I ended up walking out with him to his motorbike, talking about his motorbike and this, that, and the other. And he says, oh, where Brett had said that they're renting this motorbike, turns out that he owns this motorbike, and it's a 900Z Kawasaki. Now, I'm not sure how much that it is. I'll have to look it up. Maybe I'll put it in the description. But this is a big motorbike that he just bought. All right, so yeah, there's something going on there. I'm questioning whether that's a brother or not. What do you think? Anyway, he takes off. He leaves very quickly. So we get back to dinner, and Brett and his girlfriend's in there, and they're kind of all lovey-dovey. I make mention, she's up getting more food, and I say, hey, I said, how's the sex and everything? And that's probably too much of a personal question. And he says, oh, we haven't had it yet. And I'm like, what? I mean, you're in town, and you haven't been with her forever, but what's going on? Well, we don't have enough time for that. We've been out drinking and everything and just having fun, so we haven't had time for that. And I'm like, okay, well, it's what's important to you. Maybe that's what it is. I asked him, I said, hey, what's the chance of them wanting to take a trip, maybe down to Krabi or something like that I'd be interested in going. And if they didn't want to fly, I'd be offered to drive in my truck, and we could just kind of explore Thailand going down that way. And Brett thought, oh yeah, that'd be great, but of course his girlfriend was like, no, it's just too long, and why drive that long, and she has a point. There's no doubt about it. I understand wanting to take an airplane, and you can get there in a couple hours, and you don't have to waste all that time driving. But for me personally, I like the adventure of driving there, because if I'm driving along and I see, the world's largest guitar or or whatever, and I can stop and go see that, or a waterfall or a hot spring or whatever the case may be. There's things along the road that just piques my interest, and I think Brett is somewhat of an adventurer as well. All right, but apparently this does not seem exciting to his girlfriend whatsoever, and she's strictly against this. He's trying to figure out plans of doing things more than just sitting in the bars for this trip. But for her, she can't wait to get back to Soy 6, to this bar that they keep going back to. And I suggest, hey, why don't we go down to Walking Street or other places, and just see what this town has to offer. She interrupts everything. Says, no. She says, I want to go back to where my friends are at and everything. And I'm trying to tell Brett, the problem with that is when you go back to where her friends are at, you're buying her lady drinks and you're buying her friends' lady drinks, and everybody's making money off of you. But if you go to another bar, if you go down to Soy 7 or Soy 8 and to another bar, okay, now she's a regular customer, all right? You could go to another bar on Soy 6. She's a regular customer, And all of a sudden, her beers are not costing 160 baht. They're only costing 80 baht. All right, the same thing that your beers are costing. And he said, oh, yeah, that'd be a good idea. Maybe we should consider that. But she is strictly against that idea. She's like, she goes to the bars to see her friends. And, of course, Brett, he wants to make her happy. So he agrees with her. All right, so that's what they decide to do. I personally, I don't care that much about Soy 6. Skipped out of it. I said, no, you guys go out and have a good time. And that was that. I ended up talking to Brett the next morning, and they'd stayed out pretty late. And he'd said that his bin got up to about 10,000 baht. So they'd spend probably twice as much money that I would have spent in an average week. But he's on vacation. He definitely falls into that one month millionaire class of a tourist, and that's what tourists do. They come here, they have a good time, they bring a wad of cash with them, and they want to spend it all. Okay, and he's doing that. He mentioned to me that his girlfriend brought up that her family, her father specifically, needs a motorbike, and that they were talking about that before. And was wondering if there was any chance that they could possibly buy a motorbike for her father. Brett basically stood up to her again and said, no, I've spent enough money on your family, and I'm just not going to spend any more money on your family. Other than what I'm giving you right now is more than enough. She wasn't too happy about that. While Brett and me were talking on the phone, you could hear his girlfriend in the background talking to Brett as well, saying that she needed to go outside and talk to her brother on the phone. And Brett's like, why do you have to go outside to talk to your brother? Because I have a bad signal in here. A few minutes later, he gets a text message from his girlfriend saying that she has left to go meet another friend and she'll be back in an hour or so. Brett's like, what? He's like, absolutely not. You have to come back. And she said, no, I'm already gone. This is a horrible scenario for Brett. I told him straight out, I said, you should be tracking her down, finding out where exactly she's at. It's like this brother thing. I told him there's zero chance that's her brother. There's almost 100% chance that he's paying for this motorbike for her so-called brother. Okay. More than likely this guy's her husband or her boyfriend. And he's like, oh, there's no way, 100%, no way. And I'm like, yes, this happens all the time. And the thing is she doesn't want to get away from that bar because she's still working in that bar. She's going to want to be in that bar every night. There's no doubt about it. And she's going to want you to spend money in that bar every night. To go someplace else and spend money in another bar, it's not in her best interest. She's not making money. Her mama-san's not making money. The bar's not making any money. She's going to keep you in there. Whatever you do, she's going to find out many reasons for you to spend additional money. It's like buying a motorbike for her father. There's going to be other things that are going to come up. It's going to be a daily occurrence, and he has to be ready for this. That's where we stand. Right now, Brett, he's thinking about his relationship with this girl. I told him just this morning, I said, maybe we should take a trip. I've been itching to get out of here myself, but maybe we should just take a trip without her, okay? And go visit other parts of Thailand and just have fun. And I think he's thinking about that. So it's more to come. That's it for now. I hope Brett figures this out before it's too late. I think he's in a toxic relationship. I really do. And he needs to get out. He needs some fresh air, maybe a change of scenery, and he needs to go to someplace in Thailand that is not like this, all right? And anyway, I'm hoping he takes my lead and maybe we can get out of town and go visit some of these other small towns, and maybe he'll meet somebody even nicer, but we'll see. And I'll try to keep you updated. Other than that, make sure you give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. All right. Bye. Go Chiefs.